How are you?
Oh, good. I'm just getting ready to start this event. And we're starting an hour early, because we don't have a big event. So anyway, as long as you can see me, I don't know if you're going to be able to see me because if it's not clear enough, I should just go to without my picture. But I'll try to stay on as long as I can this way.
No, we can see you and we can hear you. Are you sure you're not going to be too rushed?
Nope. I got a half an hour.
Okay.
Half hour.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. I was just on with Linda. I was just on the phone with Linda. So
I
was like, I got to get off. I got to go talk to Ruth. So.
Hey, is she going to be on MLM Nation?
I don't know. I think so, maybe. I don't know.
There's just a picture on her Facebook page of Adam and Loren and James with sitting, it looked like somewhere with MLM Nation banners behind.
Oh, they went to a seminar. They went to an event.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Right.
I'll see you.
Oh, she's gone.
No, I'm not. I'm here.
She is. You just for a sec. So
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So this is my team. I'm recording it. This is the most of my team who were able to get it on at this time because it's 4 p.m. here in New Zealand. So for those of you who are on here, this is the amazing Loren, just an absolute inspiration. And a lot of my team have been watching your stuff on YouTube, Loren. You know, I've uploaded your awesome What If video, that we share with people. And I've shared your recent live video that your son took at the UK conference, which is awesome. Yeah. But I just mentioned to my guys that, you do this awesome manifestation board training. And something that I've started on my vision board, but I'd love it if you could kind of give us some tips and around that and what you teach.
Absolutely, and I'll send you the video. I'll send you a video too that I created about it as well. And I think, I don't know if you guys saw my post today on Facebook, but you know how it comes up, there's a lot of background noise. I don't know who, but
I'll just mute everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I'll unmute you. Sorry, off you go.
Got me? Cool.
Yep.
So first I just wanted to say thank you for having me. I love New Zealand. One of my favorites is Arthur in a long time. So I'm looking forward to getting back there sometime soon. I went to the North Island many, many years ago. And we were there for 2 weeks. And I couldn't believe I was like, oh, we'll be able to get to the South Island. And there was just so much to see back then. So it's a beautiful country. And I really had an amazing time. And I'm just excited that we've got a team that's growing there. And I don't know if any of you guys saw my Facebook page today, but I really want to start with that, and how that leads into doing your manifestation board, if you will. The picture that it posted, it was, a reminder of what happened, how that pops up 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, 2 years ago. And a photo came up from 5 years ago this week. And we were at the conference in Nashville, Tennessee. And Linda was pretty much I think she was in SC back then. So 5 years ago, she was at SC. And Linda said to me, she goes, I don't know, Loren, I don't know, just really
You're just breaking up a bit, Loren.
Scotland. I was going worse. I was stress skinny, which was kind of me. Can you hear me?
We just lost you for a bit.
Okay. Oh, that's weird. I haven't moved. So, I was going through probably the toughest time in my life, and that was 5 years ago this week. And so Linda came over to the event, and I go, look, we've got to really create a vision for ourselves of what, Jeff will always say, 3 to 5 years. If you could do whatever it's, it's not about who do I really need to become to grow an international business, and that's when I look at manifestation board, I don't think about the stuff. It's very interesting right now here. I Tony and of the trainers out on the jet skis, literally right down the road, and I was working. And as everybody else was having a good time, I was working. And I caught myself, and I said, you know what, Loren, what is it that you really want to create? What is, And I say I had an emotional colonic, and most of us need to have a good emotional colonic. We know what we want and we desire for our life. We just don't express it. We don't tell the world. There's a great quote that Eric Worre says. He says, say yes, tell the world, and figure it out, right? So is it really breaking up? I don't know why I can't.
You're okay now. You broke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because somebody just posted. So, really say yes. And so then I literally just grabbed a pen and a piece of paper, and I just decided to order it up. What was it that I really wanted to, So back then it was that I read a book about how to be an extraordinary mom, and companies were going to give it away, and hospitals were going to give it away, and on and on and on. But I've noticed that for me, that's really a winning formula for me, is that I take that and I do that for anything. So with Juice Plus, 5 years ago, I sat down and I go, you know what is it that I really want? And I wrote down, I go, you know what, I've created an amazing international team. That we have people in Israel, that we have people in Poland, that we have people in France, that we have people in the UK and Ireland and Australia and New Zealand and Fiji and, Canada. And that we've got, national marketing directors all over the world. And my son's doing the business with me. And I don't have to worry about anything. I get to come where I want to come, just, work for Robbins because I love just to work for Robbins. And I just let it go. And so creating a vision, and you heard me talk about it in Bournemouth, is the most important thing. If you don't have a vision, how is anybody else on your team supposed to create that vision for themselves, right? So, everybody kept saying to me, don't go international, just, start locally. I am so glad I didn't listen to those people. That would have been the dumbest thing that I ever would have done in my life. So I'm going to tell you, create locally. But now the world's so small. I did start my business with social media. I don't know if it's pretty cool, Katie acknowledging that, that I was the one that told her that how I use social media. And she basically took what I recommended and she just grew a bigger vision. She had a bigger vision than I did about social media. So really for yourself, I want you to really think about what is the vision? That, how do you really want to be seen in the world? I love the whole mom on a mission. To me, that really inspires me. Whether it's writing a book, whether it's, Juice Plus, whether it's a Robbins event, I'm still just a mom on a mission, right? I'm not trying to make myself so unique because I want to make sure that every mom can relate to me, right? I'll be 51 next month. And every 50-year-old mom has a 20-year-old kid. Every day, my son works the business with me. He's not almost a national marketing director. So if you think about your, today when we get off this call, really write down what is the vision that you have for yourself. And then the questions that you're going to ask when creating your manifestation board is, who do I need to become? And you're going to divide that into basically 9 quadrants. And I'll send you the quadrants so that you can share them with everybody, Ruth. But one of the quadrants is a quadrant called helpful people. So in that quadrant, you might want to put pictures of everybody that's on your team, right? You might put a picture of, your upline, Linda, or whoever that your upline is. Maybe you put a picture of, if you love Eric Worre stuff, put a picture of Eric Worre on there. Joss and I did this time last year, and we were leaving for conference. And Joss was like, Mom, look, there's this picture of Richard Branson. I'm like, well, that's cool. I like Richard Branson, but I don't have to put Richard Branson on my thing. Just put it on your vision board, And I'm like, okay, fine. And I put it on there. And then we're at conference, I texted Marina and I said, hey, can you send me the specials for next year's GoPro? Because we were at our conference, we couldn't go to the GoPro. And it said that if you bought 100 tickets, you could get a one-on-one with guess who? Richard Branson. So I was like, oh my God, that had just been the week before. And then one was with the Tony Robbins, but I didn't have to worry about that, right? So I was like, oh my God. And so, or a great one is in my helpful people category. I love Barbara Walters. I don't know if you guys know who Barbara Walters is, but she's kind of the woman who pioneered female journalists. And so I had a wax statue of me and Barbara Walters. And my friend was doing an event about 8 years ago, and I said, hey, I'd love to be your MC for the event. And so I didn't hear from him. And then a couple weeks later, I said, do you want me to, still be your MC? And he's like, no, I want you to speak. And I'm like, oh my God. He goes, you'll find out who's speaking when you email my sister. And so I emailed his sister, and guess who was on the agenda? Me, it was Barbara Walters. And I'm like, holy doggies, right? But I put that out there. So you have your area called your helpful people area. The other area that you have is your creativity. What parts of your, if you're creating your vision for your life, what parts do you need to unleash in your creativity, right? Then you have your intimate relationships. How do you need to show up in your intimate relationships? So you want to put a picture of you and your spouse, or you want to put, maybe flowers, flowers, or places you want to travel, or whatever represents that. And I'll send you pictures of all my vision boards so that you can share with the team. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. So I have a lot of boards, a lot. Then you have your identity. Your identity is, how do you want to be seen in the world, right? Like, no matter related to, your business, how do you want to be remembered? Like, so for me, I just did a photo shoot, and this guy wanted to dress me up in dresses and put all this makeup and all this jewelry that wasn't me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be seen like that. I want to be seen as the real deal. I want to see, that I'm the, I'm the boots girl. I'm the jeans and funky bracelets girl. I don't want to live a lie. I want to be known as the real deal. So how do you want to be seen in the world? What's the identity that you want to be seen as? Is it a mom on a mission? Is it a kick you in the butt, hug you kind of person? Is it for me, it's a Goya girl. Is it a entrepreneur? How do you really want to be seen in the world? And this is not just related to Juice Plus, but that it's funny because my kids go around and they go, oh my God, my mom, she's just a real deal. She'll kick you in the butt and hug you at the same time. That's how they see me, right? So you look at, what is your identity? How do you really want to be seen? Then your health, that's why, you guys doing a 10-day shred or whatever that it is. If it's Transform 30, your middle section is your health. Right? And then your section below that is your business. So that's really your Juice Plus, business. So I have lots of people's goals on there, you're on there now, Ruth, of getting an NMD because you just turned Q, right? So seeing with being able to go to New Zealand, somebody going 100 Club, somebody else going, NMD, whatever that it is. So I have all my friends' goals on my vision board, right? Then you have your financial, how do you need to show up financially? I've learned a lot about this business, about if I'm going to really be, grow my business, I got to be financially savvy, And so sure, there's some stuff on there that I'd like to buy, but it's more about how do I need to show up with my finances? And then you have one with regards to your family. And then you have an area called skills and knowledge. What do you need to learn? How do you need to grow? And then that becomes, you're so solid, that's your foundation, right? And most people, we talk all the time about, it's all about beliefs. So, you have, how many of you have 100% belief in the products of Juice Plus? Raise your hand, right? How many of you have 100% belief in the research behind Juice Plus, right? How many of you have 100% belief in the leadership? I mean, you've got the best leadership in the world. You got Jeff, Cheryl, me, Linda, all of those people, right? So the one belief is usually in yourself, right? And what a manifestation board, I like to call it manifestation because it's not, just vision. You've got to take vision plus getting off your butt, and that creates manifestation. Because you can just sit there and think about things all day long, but if you don't get off your butt and do something, it doesn't matter in the first place, right? So I like to call it the manifestation because those 9 areas represent, who you're going to become and how you make those things happen. So a lot of people will get heavy into their business and forget about their body, or they'll get heavy into learning and they forget about their relationship, or they get heavy into, their finances and they forget that. So this is really that foundational piece for you. That's really what the whole process of this manifestation process is all about. Is who, you know, who do you really need to become in order to make that happen? And, you know, I remember, it's very funny now that I think about it. It was 6 years ago, and I'd been working on my board, and I left it out at my house. And as I left it out, I just was like, I couldn't think. Like, I was so confused. I didn't know where I wanted to head. I was going through this divorce. I mean, things were so crazy. And my dog decided to intervene. And he literally ripped the top identity piece off of my board, you know? And I was like, well, that's kind of funny, you know, because I wasn't clear about how I really wanted to be seen in the world. So it's very important for you to really write it down. And everybody, the beauty of this is everybody's is so unique, right? Everybody, the pathway to, you know, that feeling of how you want to be is different for everybody. So what is it for you? I'd love to hear, you know, what is it for you guys of your vision that you see for yourself? I mean, you know, like I said, 5 years ago, Linda was an SC. You know, 3 years ago, I'll never forget, Linda went NMD, and that was July. July, she called me, and we were pushing. She's like, I don't know, I think we'll wait till the spring conference. I go, no, you're not. You're going to push, and we're going to make this happen, you know, for the fall conference. So that was 3 years ago. And then last year, Linda and the team became 100 Club. This year, there's like 100 clubs, 200 clubs, 50 clubs, team in us, you know, in New Zealand, team everywhere around the world. So it's holding that vision and really creating that for yourself and knowing that you deserve it. You know, I mean, I got to tell you guys, I mean, I remember truly just, you know, a couple years ago where I had more month at the end of the money. And it sure feels nice to have more money at the end of the month, you know, or my son wants to go to school to get certified in gemology. And it's just a big dream of his. And the place that he needs to go to do it is New York City. And it's not cheap, you know. And for him to get an apartment in New York City is $3,500 a month. And to be able to say yes to, you know, which is more than my mortgage on my house, you know, so to be able to say yes, to be able to do that feels really good. But I had to hold that vision for all of us. And it hasn't always been easy. You know, trust me, I have to deal with some stuff that is just a pain. But it's great because I get to, you know, I get to be able to do the things, you know, that I've always wanted to do. But without that vision, you know, they always say, you know, the Bible always says, you know, without vision, people perish. So as a leader, it's really your responsibility to create a strong vision, no matter what your age. You know, I mean, my mom's 80 years old, and I'm like, Mom, I go, how cool is this? You know, you're heading into a new day, and my mom's like, I go, come on, let's write, you know, what the next 10 years are going to be like. And the old mom was like, no, Loren, I'm too old for that. Now you should hear all the cool things my mom wants to do over the next 10 years, right? So she's created that compelling vision for herself, you know, and for her grandkids and what she wants to do. So, I just, you know, I look at my daughter, you know, who's 9 years old, and she's already told me, you know, I'm like, what's your vision for this year, Asher? And she's told me she's got some kick-ass things that she's got planned, you know, but you've got to plant that seed, and it's got to start with you, you know. No one's going to follow you if they don't know that you have a vision of where they're going. It's kind of like a trip, right? You got to know where you are. So you got to be really honest of where you're at right now. And you've got to think of where you're committed to going. And then what do you need to do, you know, to go from where you are to where you really want to go. And we always say, you know, the person that maximizes the most resources always wins. So, you know, Ruth stayed on me to make sure that we did this call, right? Like, she could have said, oh, well, whatever, we're having a hard time connecting, it's not going to happen. And a lot of people do that, right? They're like, it doesn't happen. She's like, nope, let's do this. And you schedule it, and when you schedule it, it's real. But I will tell you this, it's really worth it. You know, I mean, you're with the most extraordinary company. We're all here to support you. I mean, nothing makes me happier than seeing everybody else's vision come to reality. But you got to take time to really do your board. You might think that it's corny and cheesy or whatever, but I've done this with people who have, you know, people that I've coached multi-million-dollar business. They're like, oh my God, this app really works. Like, the guy that I'm coaching for 6 years, I'm like, look, this is crazy, but this is how you're going to start. This is our first session. And he was 100 weight, is kind of successful, but I had a real, kick him thing. I go, no. Great. Was before, losing all the weight, him learning different things, him, all of that stuff. So you never know, who you're going to help by helping them understand the importance of creating vision for themselves. So does that make sense for you guys? Anybody have any questions or comments or anything that I can help you with? Anyone?
We just we lost you for a little bit just a second ago, Loren, but that's okay. We're bearing through it.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. It's not your fault. Nothing you can do about it. I have a question just going back. You're talking about how a lot of people advised you to, build locally first. For me,
yep.
I've built outside of my area. The majority of my team, would be 90% of my team are outside my hometown, and I've found it hard to build locally. So I've had a lot more success with building outside of my hometown, and my vision is to build into other countries. Like I want a strong business league in Australia, the UK, the US, and Canada, and that's on my vision board. I've started to create that on my vision board. So I loved how you said that you didn't listen to those people. You just went out and did it.
Well, and I think what's great about not building locally, I think it's, I know a lot of people have had success building locally. What I found personally for me is that I get exhausted. They count on me to do everything. Yeah. And Cheryl would always say to me, Cheryl and Jeff would always say, your job, Loren, is to help build people as independent as quickly as possible. So Cheryl and I were in the same city. So I'm like, holy doggies, I got to really do this, right? So I think that what it does is it allows people to step up. They don't count on you so much to, do the events, and they have to learn how to grow independently. And what's great is they either step up or they don't, right? So I personally, for me as well, helping people kind of be their own hero. Like I didn't want people also to compare themselves to me, like in my local town. I love what Lisa Grossman says. She says, your job is to quickly get to that position, right? Like to 100 Club or whatever. And then your job is to pass the torch to somebody else, to let them shine, right? And remember, our job is not to be someone's boss. Our job is to be a resource for them, right? So like I'm a resource for you. But how you do your business is going to be different than how I do my business. Cheryl, she's the number one, woman in the world. The way Cheryl does her business, if you've learned about that whole bank, which is, the blueprint person, the action person, the nurturer, and the knowledge person. I'm a total action person. I'm very fire aim ready, right? I could make a decision. I just go do it. Freaks Cheryl out sometimes, but I have her as a resource to be the blueprint person. But if you're going to have me sit down and talk about the comp plan, I'm not the person. I'd rather somebody send them to a conference call. Or, my son is very active with a lot of these like young 24-year-olds. Let me tell you something. These kids are smart. And most of them have done their homework. They don't ask a zillion questions because they've done their homework on our company, right? They already know the answers to everything. Yesterday, we were on a call with a kid. He already knew everything about our comp plan. He already knew everything about the top earners in the company. He already knew, had already watched all the videos about the Tower Garden. And so I was like, dang. So a real leader, is someone who's done their homework already and isn't counting on you to spoon feed them everything as well. So, and the other thing is, we say lots of times, treat this like a business. I don't know about you. I've never had my own business. I'm a really great independent contractor. And I'm a really great employee. But when someone says this, that means lost, or, So you've got to help people understand, this means is we're going to have the resources to know what makes a successful, business for them, you look at someone like Adam, he's owned a business, so that's why it was Adam understood that blueprint of a business. Or you take like Brian Marsh, another person, they own businesses. So I don't know who on this call has owned a business, but you want to look at those people and learn what their mentality is. Keith Cunningham, he's the rich dad from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he says, what usually happens is most people don't do a business plan for their business. So what we call a business plan is a vision, right? So what is your business? Are you going to be in 26 countries or open up Dubai at the beginning of January? Ruth, you already shared with me a little bit of your business plan or your vision. To be in Australia, to be in New Zealand, to be in the US, to be in the UK, to be in Canada. Why not go bigger, right? But to create that, to really create that. And then what's the plan to do that? All right. I have an easy starter guide. So anywhere, wherever somebody is in the world, they have a starter guide that they can plug into. Okay, we have Zoom calls that do this and that. Now you're giving people real tools so that they can go create their own duplicatable franchise, right? When you go into McDonald's, you buy a McDonald's franchise, they give you a procedure manual of what you need to do to have a successful franchise. So when you keep it simple and it's duplicatable, there's always success. And when you encourage others, I always say to people, look, my job is to be a great resource for you, but I'm here are the tools that we have available, but it's your business, and I'll be here to support you however that I can, but it's still your business, right? Mm-hmm. So does that make sense for all of you? Is that helpful, I hope?
Yeah, it was.
So, and then you have to decide what the standards are, like, I don't want to use foul language because I don't want to offend anybody, but, like I'll have people come up to me and they'll be like, oh my God, so sorry I let you down. I go, look, it's your business. You're not letting me down. This is your business. You get to decide. We all start the exact same way. We sign a distributor application. We go on the products. And as I love what Simon says, we get paid to share the products and we get paid to help people become distributors to help people share the products. And those people teach other people to do that. That's how we get paid. We get paid to have things. That's what we get paid for. So when people say, I'm so sorry I let you down, I go, look, you just needed to talk to a lot more people. I said, if you're wondering what drives me and what my strategy, my love strategy is I don't want to use the word, but because it's not a pretty word, but it's F you, Loren, I'll show you. Right? So like, I like when people go, you know what, Loren, fine, I'll show you what I can do. I like that. That drives me. When someone, it's like Loren Mary always talks about last year when we were in Hamilton Island, and I looked at Loren, I go, Loren, what is up? I go, and I like literally lit on the forehead, right? Because we have this very strange relationship. And I'm like, sister, wake up. You have freaking got this. What are you doing playing so small? And so she's like, wow, you like, because for me, it was that I saw it in her before she saw it in herself, right? Or same thing with Linda. I'm like, come on, Linda, stop it. Don't buy into that. You've got this. You know people all around the world. You know how to do this and that. So you've got to decide, what do you really want? That's the most important thing that you can do, guys. It's the most important thing that you can do. You've got to get really clear. It was funny. I was like putting together like results or outcomes that I have. And I'm like, my God, like, I feel so blessed. All it means is that I can play on a different scale, or say yes to different things. But my real happiness is when one person makes a difference and goes, you know what, I'm going to really do. I'm really going to go for it. So that's your job, is to dig in super deep. Do a manifestation board, course, class with them. Sit down and have some fun. They might not do it all in one setting, but make sure they put themselves on that board. So anybody else have any questions? I got to head up in a minute. Anyone else?
This will be the only chance you get to ask Loren one-on-one. I'll ask you a quick question, Loren, just regarding the manifestation boards. How often do you look at that every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. So, and I'll show you on video. First of all, the one thing that I'll tell you, you get out of bed, you've got to look at your bed and make sure that whatever is right beside your bed inspires you. So whatever is right beside your bed, is that really inspiring you? Then I go into my bathroom and I have my friend for my birthday, she made this like most beautiful like calligraphy thing, and it's 50 things that she loves about me, right? And I look at that, and then right beside that, I have 2 boards. And as I'm doing my kettlebells and brushing my teeth, I look at my manifestation board, and I'm like, okay, who do I need to become today to really make that happen? And it's cute. My husband doesn't even complain because it looks like a kindergarten, you know, with my big boards on the wall, you know, and he just thinks it's cute. And he goes over there and he goes, he'll see I use my label maker, and he'll be like, who's that person that's going to be 100 Club? Who's that person? Do I know that person? So he comes over to the board, right? And then I give myself a little star when it happens for somebody. I like give myself a little star or a date, like when I paid off my daughter's camp that she goes to. I'm like, Asher, come on, put the star where it says that we paid off camp and you're going to camp next year, you know? Or so and people walk in my bathroom, they're like, holy dog, is you actually really do this, you know? When I'm feeling stuck, I get out of it really quick. You know, when I'm feeling stuck for myself, I don't know if you guys saw this, I'm pretty proud of them, but I'm very, very, very big into, you know, what you attach the words I am to. So I just created, I don't know if you guys saw this, a deck of I am cards. It's like 52 cards. And so who just said that? Who just asked me the question? So I've got 10 of the cards here. Who just asked me the question?
Okay, it's me.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to pull your card right now.
Okay. Woohoo.
Let's see which card. Tell me when to stop.
Yep.
Tell me when to stop. Okay. And so your card today is I am loving. I will spread my love amongst my nearest and dearest and let them know how much I care about them so they know that they are loved and worthy. So I'm very big into, you know, I've got I am kick-ass, I'm playful, I'm magical, I'm powerful, I'm committed, I'm open. So I'm always like reminding myself about my I ams, you know, and I don't buy into people's stuff very easily, you know, and nobody can take it away from me, you guys, unless I give it to them. And I think it's I remember with, a lot of people would say to me, oh my God, Loren, it's not worth it. You're putting in so much time and not really getting the rewards. Let me tell you something. It is BS. You know what I mean? Years ago when I wrote my book, I said to Bob Proctor, I said, I don't get it. I go, how come people aren't excited for me? And Bob says, it's not that they're not excited for you, Loren. They're afraid you're going to leave them behind. So when you start doing really well, you know, you start hanging around a whole new group of people, what happens? People get scared that you're not going to be around so much, right? So I was like, wow, that's really powerful. You know, that was really powerful for me to realize that I needed certainty that how much I love them and care about them, but I had to grow, you know, I had to keep moving forward. I had to have some vision. So I forgot, I can't see what somebody asked another question. What was the question?
Robin has asked, hi Loren, how did your mum get past the negativity of age and get so positive? This is my mum asking this question, Loren.
Wow, that's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if you really want to know the answer to that. It was when I was growing up, my mom has a sister, and my aunt had so much power over my mom. And my mom would talk to my aunt almost 3 hours a day. And all of us, it was weird. It was like she like didn't even, sometimes she wasn't present. My dad, I would see him, you know, he'd work just so my mom she'd be on the phone with her sister. It was very odd. And the day my father passed away, my aunt was at my house, you know, the next day. And we had installed cameras in my mom's bedroom because my brother and I had thought that my mom's sister was stealing from her. And we caught my aunt stealing from my mom. And my mom was like, all these years, you know, it took your father passing away for me to realize, you know, that the people I was hanging around weren't the right people for me to hang around. And, you know, and I caught my mom, you know, my aunt stealing from my mom.
Oh, goodness.
Obviously, I need to, you know, but, you know, the most powerful line that I always hear Tony Robbins say is, you know, who you surround yourself with is who you become. So choose wisely. And lots of times we're around people because they're convenient, but they might not be helping us grow. And, you know, that's why for me, you know, our international team being called YOLO is so important, because you only live once. You know, I mean, where are you really going to spend your time? What are you really going to do, you know, so that you grow and that you continue to do something? I want to be a great example of what's possible. I don't want to be a warning. And I think my mom, like I said, who's 80, for her too, she's now decided, you know what, just because I'm 80, I mean, what's Mother Teresa didn't start till she was 75. And my mom kind of like looks at herself that way. And she's like, I can do it. I can get going on some things, you know, I mean, and she's like doing Pilates, and she's like, looks amazing. And she started this thing back home. So it's how, you know, how do you really want to be remembered? And, you know, I love to make people cry. And the reason I like to want them to wake up again. Touch minority to do, you know, you know, and you know, anything about politics. You know, I still look. I'm freaking very grateful to be an American. You know, I am. A lot more grateful for the free world that we live in Australia and New Zealand and Canada and the U.S. and, you know, so many countries that we have these opportunities. So I think that when you're grateful for what you have in your life, you know, gratitude really does grow when you start to really think inside yourself. So that's why for me, you know, it's worth it. It's worth that extra 10%, you know, and that's where all that's where all the shifts happen, is your 10%. When you decide to give just a little bit more, when you push just a little bit more, and it's, even though it's hard, you just say, you know what, I've had my son in an apartment in New York City, not live in New York City, live 30 minutes away, you know, take the train every day, you know, not live in a secure area, or is it worth it for an extra 10% to make sure my son's safe, that he feels secure, that I'm doing the right thing? It's worth it to push myself a little bit more so that my son doesn't have to worry about anything and he can focus. For me, it is. You know, if we used to, you know, expand and grow, whatever. He's, you know, he's a good kid. He's worked hard. And, you know, now he has a place where if you've got friends in the city, you know, it has a rooftop and he can do a party for up to 50 people plus, you know, so that's that extra 10%. What are you really willing to do for that extra 10%, you know, in your life?
Awesome.
So I want to see these vision boards. I can't see these vision boards that you guys create.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Loren. I know you have to get away and prepare for this event, but I really, really appreciate, on behalf of everyone, I know everyone's been inspired. There's been smiles on everyone's faces. So we're really, really grateful for you just taking the time and sharing all of that with us.
You are so welcome, and I can't wait to see you all. Send me people that you've got in the U.S. so I can take good care of them.
Thank you.
And, so hang on.
You're you're just breaking up. We heard a scream.
Okay.
You're right.
So say hi, everybody. Say hi to the New Zealand. So say hi. Ula from Fiji. So there you go. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Lauren.
Can you call a shuttle? Bye, guys. You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.